Okay. So do you guys want to talk about like kind of brainstorm for a little bit first, or do you want me to give you some like action steps of things you can be doing this next few days?
Let's do action steps. That's
Okay.
what I think.
Okay, so first thing first. I have just like the number one thing that you guys should be doing is just be sharing what you're doing right now. If you're in the process of kind of coming back from a month or a week or, a few days of just, junk food and things like that, then talk about that. Like talk about that in your stories. Talk about how crappy sugar made you feel because you hadn't had a whole lot of it in a while. Or maybe you've been having like tons of sugar like me and you're just like, okay, I gotta get a handle on this. But be real with people and just tell them like, I'm getting back on track. I'm working on this. This is what my goals are, whatever it is that you want to be real about, but just be open with the process and just let people know like you're a normal human. Yes, maybe you did work out on Christmas. I worked out on Christmas. But like you still understand kind of just that feeling of just like blech, like almost the holiday hangover kind of feeling without any of the alcohol. Hold on one sec. Joshua is back here doing something crazy. Okay. You guys got to see me yell at my child, but you didn't hear me. He's like over there playing with a walkie-talkie. I'm like, how is that playing quietly? But talking about it in your stories, and then I'm just soft jab kinds of posts. So that just means like I'm just kind of sprinkling it in here and there. I might like yesterday I did like a post that was like a call to action, but it also gave a couple of tips and ideas. So feel free to like stalk, Micah's page, or you can look at Jaylyn. Jaylyn, what is she? I think it's just Jaelyn, and it's like Jaylyn Lavelle or Jaylyn Barnes on Instagram or Facebook. But she's got some really good ideas. Basically, just the more real you can be with this process of just coming off of the holidays, what you're doing with your kids, still enjoying life, but also like looking forward to whatever goals you have that you're going to be working on. That lets people kind of know in the back of their heads, especially like as you start to talk with them, that you're in this with them. You're not just here to show them the way. You're here to do it with them. And it's really important, especially this time of year, for people to feel like you're actually working with them. And it's not just she's going to tell me what to do. And then she's going to like look like she has, a 6-pack of abs. And I'm just going to be like over here, like, hey, still trying to lose weight. Can I have help, please? Like they want to be in the process with you. So anything you're struggling with, be open about that. Best ways to be open about that is in your stories on Instagram or Facebook. Like I said, second step. So first step is be in your stories and be real in your stories, sharing your workouts, sharing real life. Second thing is do a call to action, like once every other day, once a day, whatever you feel like. That's just something like, it could be a sweaty selfie. It could be a personal development quote. It could be something just a little bit like shorter and succinct that's just telling a little of your story, but also explaining that you're on this journey with them and you want them to come with you, if that makes sense. I posted in my page yesterday. I just basically shared something along the lines of, like, I asked for them to do something first. So that's when I make a post, that's a call to action post. Think about what you want them to do. How do you want them to respond? This was like on a national wake up call. I said like heart, if you like me had a few too many caramels, cookies, and ice cream the last couple of days. So like I'm asking for them to do something when they see the post. And then I just talked about the new leggings that my mom got me. And I shared a couple of, I shared my miracle morning routine, but then I also shared some quick little tips of like, hey, how do you get rid of the holiday bloat? How do you kind of take some steps now? So you're not just like January 1, I should join a gym. Wait, I didn't join a gym. Guess I'm not doing anything this year, because that's what people do. They go through this mindset of like, I'll start January 1. I'll start January 1. January 1 comes. They don't do anything, and then they don't do anything the rest of the year because they think they failed on the first day. So just kind of giving people that opening to say, okay, you don't have to wait to January. You can start taking a little better care of yourself right now. I said, like, if you really want to do something, make sure to check the link in my bio, because that's where I have my application. And I just said, either message me or click the link in my bio to apply for my group. Then any of those people, like the next few days, any of those people will be people that I invite. The third step of this whole little 3-step action plan is that you're inviting people. So I would make a list of any of these people. You can have a brand new invite list. This would be anybody who's watching your stories or who's seen your posts in the last month or two, and who is just still kind of following. You'll see the people who are still following along. And if you have not reached out to them, then now is the time to reach out to them. I'll share in the team page, I'll share some scripts and ideas for just ways to invite people, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Basically, you just want to let them know, this is what I'm planning to do. I'd love to have you do this with me. Do you want to get more info? That's the structure of my invite. It's nothing complicated, and it's really open-ended. And so it leaves them open to, I think my ending question is, if I send you some info, would you be willing to check this out? Or do you already have a good system in place? Because if they already have a good system in place, more power to them. But it invites a response. That's kind of what I'm going for. So I would send brand new invites to people who've been watching in the last little while. But anyone that you've ever invited before, I hope you have a list of that, a running list of just people that you've talked to before or who've expressed interest. Maybe they saw a transformation photo that you shared before and they never responded to a previous message. All of those kinds of people, those are the people to be messaging and say, hey, just thought of you, not sure if the time is any better, but if I send you some info on my Transform 20 test group or my New Year's fit club, whatever you want to call it, would you be interested in just checking this out? This is the time of year that people are more open to doing that. And so if you can get in front of them before January 1st hits and they go, crap, I should go join a gym, then you're going to have better luck kind of being in the back of their brains, whether they start with you this week or they start next month. Let's see. So personally messaging people, super important. So follow-up invites. That's when I say, I write on my page, I say, I'm going to do F up invites today. It's great. But it's just F and then you, because honestly, when people tell me no, I kind of got in this mindset this last year of just okay, well, that's fine. Follow up with you later. And, because ultimately what it comes down to is that if somebody tells you no, or I don't know, if you have some horrible negative experience with a family member or some crazy person who's just having a rough day and they take it out on you because you reached out and invited them to a challenge group, that's on them. That's not on you. So I hope none of you guys have that experience, but I just know that because I talk to so many people, sometimes I get some interesting responses. This time of year, mostly it's just going to be a yes, I'll check it out, or they'll keep watching, or they'll just say no thanks, I've got something planned, or I've got a good system in place. Just know that if they say no, the more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. So my goal this week has been since yesterday, I've been inviting at least 100 people a day. I have 100 people to invite. You do not have to invite 100 people a day if you don't have 100 people to invite. I have tons of people watching my stories. I can do that, and I can kind of have the discipline and I have the follow-up list to do that. But that's because I've been working this business for 4 years. If you just need to get past sending 1 invite a day, then I would say set your goal for 5 invites a day, or maybe you do 10. But I promise each of you guys should know at least 50 people that you can invite between now and the weekend. Just think about people that you invited to your wedding. Think about people you know from high school. Any of those kinds of people, as long as you are posting and you're sharing, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I'm starting to do again, or whatever the case is for you, where you're at in your journey, if you're open about that, they're going to trust that you're going to help them. And they'll be ready when they're ready, whether that's in a week or 2, or in, a couple months. So you can be inviting people who are watching your stories, anybody who's watched your posts. So people who on your posts, previous lists. If you have people who like Jen, you've got, Sandra, I know, has expressed some interest before, but the timing just wasn't the best. I would reach out to her again. The average number of times that you have to reach out to somebody to get them to a place where they're ready to take action, maybe not even to where they're going to sign up right away, but just to where they're ready to take action, is 7 times. They need 7 contacts on average. So if you stop after 1 no, or 1 not right now, I'm not ready, then you may never get to that point with them, because they have to have that contact at least 7 different times. And that's just like the average. Some people need more, some people need less. But the difference between somebody who's been successful in this business for a longer time versus somebody who maybe is still starting out, or maybe you don't really feel like you've had a lot of success with getting people on board, is that I've just kept asking people longer, and I also keep asking new people. I don't just stop with my list of 50 people. I keep finding new people to create a new list every month, every week, whatever it goes. Okay, that was really all I had as far as action steps. It's just be in your stories, talking about your stuff, your routine, real talk, call to action post at least like once every couple days. Just talk about what your goals are. Talk about what you struggled with, whatever you want to do. Tell some kind of a short story, and then give them a call to action that says, do you want to do this with me? Because I'm starting on this date. Love to have you do it with me. Then you're just sending personal invites to the people who are watching your stories, new people, old people, all of those fun things. Oh, this is my last little trick. If you guys do not have access to this, I will post the link for it. But my last trick for stories, especially after something like Christmas, I load my stories once a day with anywhere from 3 to 6 before and afters. And I just put them all in a row. And what that does is the people who continue to swipe through my stories, and they're looking and they're looking and they're looking, and they stick with the story for all of those before and afters up to where I have my list of people who are doing the group with me in January. Those are people who are really thinking about this, or they're at least really committed to watching my stories, and they're weird. But I don't know if that makes sense, but let me just kind of give you an example. I put in my stories yesterday, I shared this quote. Let's see. Okay. So it just said like December 23rd through 25th, that was like family time, unplug. And then December 26th through the rest of forever, like time to help people crush their goals. And then I shared transformations from people in our team. I shared Julie's transformation. I shared Danica. I shared one of the challengers. She like wants to remain anonymous, but one of the girls who did a 21-day group with us, Amanda's, and then I shared Emily's and the other Emily, because there's 2 Emily's. And then I just put my list. This is my list. I gave you guys all a copy of this. I'll send it again if you want, but I have a blank version of this. This just fits right in your stories. And I just type with the first thing that comes up, the format that comes up for stories. And I put, what did I do? I just shared like tidbits of your guys' stories or the people in the transformations. And then I put Josh, shush, and go out, please. I love you, but I told you this is mommy's time. Oh my goodness. I put their names, the people who have already signed up. Some of them are you guys. Some of them are like people on our team who just bought the Transform 20 access, or they're new people who signed up at the beginning of the month, or, whatever it is. But these are all people who they've said they're committed, and they've either purchased already or their share cart is already sent out. And then I put a list at the bottom that says, or a note at the bottom that just says, have you applied yet? Only a few more spots. And then I just said, if needed, I'll open more. But then I put a poll, and the poll is the trick, I feel like, because the poll gives people something to respond to after. And it just says, how can I apply, or more info, because I want people who want to say yes. You might only have 1 or 2 people who respond to that at first, but I would be willing to guarantee if you do something like that every evening, or late afternoon, whenever you want to do it, just pick a consistent time that you put 3 to 4 before and afters from the Transform 20 test group in your stories. They don't even have to be your transformation, but put them in your stories and then put a poll at the end that basically says, do you want to be on my list of getting some info, or do you want to try this workout for free? You just basically want to give people the opportunity to know, like, you'll get them the info. There's nothing scary about getting information. There's nothing scary about that. So that's kind of where I feel like the magic is, for sure, is being consistent and do that every day. Like, commit to doing that 2 to 4 before and afters in your stories every day from now to the end of, like, I mean, really you could do it all the way through the end of the weekend. But then I would even have a couple days next week, Transformation Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, like just be loading your stories with a few different before and afters here and there, because the more people see it, the more exposures they're getting, because exposures to your stories is one of those 7 contacts. And so if they're going and they're looking at your stories over and over and over and over again, that's just kind of helping them get to a place where they're going to be ready. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions? You guys can unmute yourselves.
Well, I'm hoping that if you have the same people that are watching all your stories and you've already reached out to them several times and they just don't respond, but they continue watching your stories.
I
have
out on it.
like 100 people that are all the time watching my stories. Some of them already have like Beachbody coaches, or they're already doing like their own thing. And then other people like legitimately just don't respond, but they keep watching.
So this is the message that I sent to a girl who she's been watching for months. I sent her another invite, and then I said, P.S. if I don't hear back, I might think you're a ghost. And then I put like a winky face at the end. And honestly, if I either voice message or video message on Instagram, I usually get a response, because it's easy to forget or to ignore a text message basically. But if somebody takes the time to send you a video message, or they take the time to send you a voice message, and you have the balls to not even reply to that, that would be like being in the grocery store and being like, hey, and they just look at the floor. Like,
yeah.
So I would just give them, like, if they're still watching, I would give them the opportunity again. Just say, hey, I know I've never heard back from you before. If I don't hear back from you soon, I might think you're a ghost, but I just wanted to reach out again. Like, kind of make it silly and just reach out again in maybe a little bit different of a way. Make it a little humorous. And if they're not ready, they're not ready. You might have them reach out in like 6 months and they'll be like, okay, I've been following you for like a year and I'm sorry I never replied. I wasn't ready then, but I'm ready now. Like, that's what will happen eventually. But I don't think that kind of making light of it is a problem. The other thing is get more people. So more people on your stories, you can tag new locations. Tagging new locations, you can hide the locations. So you, Sorry, my sister-in-law's texting me. You can hide the locations in your stories. And so you can tag somewhere like in Massachusetts or Pennsylvania, like, because Jen, normally, I mean, I don't know what you're doing right now, but normally you get up crazy early. So if you tag somewhere on the East Coast, when you get up and tag your workout stories, you should start getting people watching from Maine or Pennsylvania or, I don't know, New York or wherever you want to start tagging. I would just make a list of like 6 different locations to try tagging and see if you get a few more story views. The other thing you can do is you can actually tag hashtag in your stories. So like you can hashtag the types of clothes you're wearing, like workout gear or whatever, or you can hashtag like teacher hashtags. Think about the kinds of, think about the mom life that you're in, or those kinds of things. Like, those are the kinds of hashtags you should put in your stories. Hashtags get you more story viewers. I'm trying to think, what else have I done? Boosting your stories to like boost it to more people. Because what happens with Instagram is that if your story is seen by a lot of people and they keep watching, then Instagram will start boosting it to people you've never even contacted before. And so as long as your account is public, it will do that. If you don't have a public account, it won't. But the the stories thing can be tricky, but I mean, if you're continuing to grow your network, which is really important, then that will help as well. So yeah, that's kind of really all there is to it right there. So what are you doing right now? Like,
Can I ask another question?
yeah, go ahead.
I cannot keep track of who I've reached out to and followed up with how many times. I like cannot get a system that I'm like comfortable with that's consecutive, that like without like I can't handle that. I like need something that's easily visual. I don't know, but I just don't know what to use.
Have you looked into setting up Google Streak, Josh? You can go in your toy room or you can go in your room. That's your options.
Google Streak.
Google Streak. I've talked about it a few times before, but I don't personally use Google Streak. I probably should. What Google Streak does, though, out, Josh. I'm not going to ask you again. If I do, you will be sent to your room. So I feel like there's so many different simple things. Basically, the idea, I'll screen share this with you guys. Okay, what's going on? Hold on. This lady is super simple and concise. She's the one who actually introduced me to Google Streak. So what am I doing? Share screen. Okay, so I'll send you guys this video in the team thread stuff. But this is what Google Streak looks like. Basically, you have somebody who is a new friend who you still need to invite. And you can change these. They can be whatever you want them to be up here. But basically, it's just like, okay, I talked to them about the business already, or I've already sent them info. And they move from funnel to funnel. She talks about like how when you get it set up.
Like you can just like click what you've done with them and it'll change their color. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get over to where she shows you what she does with an actual person. Okay, let's see.
Because I feel like if I could get like an easy system, I would be able to like do it more often.
Yeah, and Google Streak is something you can use from your phone. It's an app that you can get on your phone, the Google Streak app. It's not as super friendly it's friendly with Android, but it's not as friendly with iPhone, which is part of why I don't use it. My system, oh my gosh, stop. My system is pretty similar. Basically what I do is I have funnels. So I have a tank of people who I'm planning to invite. These are anybody who I've been talking to, who I think would be like somebody new or a new Facebook or Instagram friend, something like that, or a new follower who just reached out to me and we're just talking about life. If I think there's someone I would like to work with on my team, or there's somebody that I would like to have in my challenge group, then I put them into an invite next list. And so I have like an invite next for January, and then for February, and then for, following months after that. So if I'm in the month of December, then my invite list is an invite to January. If I'm in the month of January, I'm looking at my invite to February list. Once I've invited them, if they don't respond, then they go on another invite list. If they do respond, they go on a follow-up list. So then I changed my tag basically, and instead of saying invite next, it says follow up next January, follow up next December. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going through my November, my December, my January follow-ups, and I'm sending messages to those people. But it helps kind of keep it organized in your head. Jen, for you right now, I would for sure take like today, tomorrow, and get Google Streak set up and just plan on plugging 5 to 10 people in per day. Like, as you kind of start to remember them, you can scroll back through your Facebook messages and see who you've talked to. Same thing with your Instagram ones. You can like scroll back through, see who you've talked to and message them again, and then put them in your streak. I would like set a goal, like just of how many people you're going to talk to, and then add them into that streak so that you're tracking. Does that help?
Yes. I just need to get that set up.
Yeah, it's honestly setting it up is the easy part. It's just remembering to use it and kind of basically helping it work with your brain. So just kind of be prepared to adjust it and tweak it as you go.
Okay.
And for anyone like recording, Emily, like anybody else listening, like you guys can all do that too. You can utilize Google Streak. I'll send you guys the copy of this link so that you can see what it's supposed to do. Emily, do you have any questions?
No, I'm just getting back into the swing of things.
Okay. So for like anybody, like I know Emily, you're really just working on kind of getting back into the swing of things right now, and that's totally fine. The biggest focus that you should have right now is making sure that you're showing up for your personal development and you're showing up for your workouts and drinking your Shakeology and sharing that. You can do that in a non-weird way. Like I would just basically, it needs to look like it's part of your normal. And so that's why on this tracker thing right here, I know I've like drilled this lots and lots, but I'll just keep saying it until you guys all start using it. This is how I keep track of what I'm doing in my business. You can get it on your phone. You can print out a copy of it, but there's the vital behaviors. It's the Success Club tracker that corporate gave us. And you can check off each of the boxes, but being proof the products work. Oh my goodness, lovely. Thank you. Zoom is telling me all kinds of things. Be proof the products work. So do your workout, drink your Shakeology, but then put that in your stories. Stories makes it super easy to do workout clips and things like that now, because all you do is you go swipe over to the hands-free thing, like this. So at the bottom, you see the different options. At the bottom, if you swipe all the way over to the right, there's one that says hands-free. Click and hold it for like a couple seconds and it'll give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown. And then what Instagram does is it actually creates a clip in 15 seconds for you. It won't make you stop and start and stop and start anymore. It's nice. It's super great. So you can record like 30 seconds of your workout, have 2 workout clips, stick it in your stories, and then just be showing that consistency. That's really like the best thing you could do, like just to really help yourself stay accountable and to kind of start building momentum again with the business. Jen, have you looked at this checklist? Oh my gosh.
Have I looked at it? Yes. I have looked at
it.
I have not used it.
Okay.
The things that I'm really good about doing is I'm really good about my workout. I'm really good about my Shakeology. I'm really good about posting on Instagram my workouts. And that's it.
Okay, so choose. Now you need to look at like the checklist of things you've done. You've got the be proof the product works. Like that's done. You can check that off every single day. You also have the workout clips in your Instagram stories. Just pick one other box. Like of all of these, there's like a handful of boxes. Some of them aren't going to apply right away, and so you don't have to worry about some of those ones. But like the ones that say, I don't know, just like daily life or some kind of a call to action, a recognition or a shout out. Just pick one of those and just start adding one more to it until you get really good at having the 3 things. And then you can move on to like kind of gradually build up to start checking all the boxes off. But just take it like one box at a time. Don't try and add everything all at once or you're going to be like, no, I can't do this. Just pick one, add that one and get good at doing that one in addition to what you're already doing. Because you've got the rest of the stuff like that you're already doing. You don't need to worry about, well, if I let this go, I'm going to forget to do my workout clips. Like you've built the habit. So yeah, I think you could probably handle one more thing. Like just pick one, and get good at that. Emily, do you know what this tracker is?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I have it.
Okay, so guys, just like what I said, like if you're just look at the things you're already doing, because I promise you're probably doing at least a couple of those things. Like at least you can at least check off 2 to 3 boxes. Hopefully that's Shakeology and workouts and personal development. If it's not those 3 things, get those 3 things down first. Everything else you can do after you get really good at those 3 things. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions, or can we go on to brainstorm really fast? Because I want to brainstorm with you for a few minutes.
We can brainstorm really fast, but I have like 2 minutes because Roman's been standing in his crib for 5.
Okay. Well, awesome. Okay. I just want to know, what do you think would make challenge groups more fun? And what do you think is something that would motivate you to show up for the business? Like, that's fun. As far as, I don't know, like a coach sleepover type thing, or, I don't know, prizes in the challenge groups, like those kinds of things. So Jen, if you have any ideas, go.
I think, please. I know that I'm not going to ask you again. Devin. I think that for me, I know everybody can do this because we all don't live here, but if I could just get with you like once a month to like spend like an hour of you like walking me through what you do like in person, I think that would help me, because I have a hard time like managing my time with my job. Like, it's really hard for me, and like on break it's fine. Like the other night I sent invites and it was fine, but I'm not working right now. You know, but as soon as I go back to work, I'm not playing your hair out. And stop for a minute. As soon as I get home from work, and by the time I like make them dinner and do all of that stuff, and then they're in bed by 8, like I'm falling asleep on the couch at 8:30 again to get up at 4, you know?
Yeah.
So I need to like find a way to fit the stuff in without like having to stay up later, or, you know, cause I can't, like I already run on 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah. You're like,
So,
I'm already dragging.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I was thinking that would be super fun. And I know that there's at least 1, 2, like, okay, here's my thinking, for like right now. What I would love to do right now, like between now and when you go back to school, is meet up like at least with you and then anyone else locally who wants to meet up and like talk power hour type stuff. And what I think we could do is we could kind of just set timers. And I'll just kind of walk you through like, okay, this is what I do. And honestly, we could even just follow a training video, like from one of the girls that I've listened to at different trainings. We could just follow her training video and just implement as she tells us to. Because I've done like a power hour with people and I've gotten through all of the income producing activities in less than 40 minutes. And I've done something in all of those areas to move forward. And that's what we need to get you to, is where we can kind of help you kind of have something concise and short and sweet. So look at your calendar and tell me kind of what your plans are for the next few days or the next week or two. Okay, I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Okay, can I explain it in a minute? Okay, go wait out there and just watch. You don't need to pick Leo up. Just watch him with your eyeballs. Just look at your calendar. Let me know what availability you have. I know we're kind of like spending some time with family the next few more days, but I think after January 1st or on January 1st or whatever, like that would be a doable day for me. To do something like that. But what I really would love to do is I would love to just do some kind of a like girl hangout and just invite anyone, challengers, coaches, people who are just friends and maybe like are semi-interested or just would like to come and have a girls' night. Like just come have a girls' night. Let's just chat, and I could make up some Shakeology samples, or not even, I don't even care. Like just hang out with people. Like, because I feel like that's part of what's super fun. It's just being able to do that. Which, Emily, dang it, why do you have to live all the way out there?
I don't know.
It's okay. We need to find more people that live close to you so that you can get together with people over there, and then we can get together over here. Because I'm not moving to where you live.
Well, we talked about moving more out west, so you never know. I might one day.
Okay. So Jen, I know you have to go, but do you have any ideas for anything that would make challenge group culture, like anything you've seen success with your girls that just kind of helps them stay on track for checking in, accountability, stuff like that?
Not really, because my group doesn't really check in.
Well, my group doesn't check in a whole lot either, but I think that as we get into the new year, people will be a little more apt to do something like that. But part of it is we have to lead by example. So I've been trying to be really good about checking into my challenge group on Facebook and actually like saying, here's my workout selfie, here's my Shakeology, you know, things like that. That is the one thing that I miss about the app. I like the app for tracking things like that. Like I made this and this was super easy to make. And some people really like this, but other people just don't even use it and they would prefer to use the app. So I think what I'm going to be doing is just that on Facebook, we'll have the weekly check-in where it's just like, hey, check in for the week kind of a thing. And just tell us like, how did you do overall? So then people who are logging in the app, they can just screenshot their week from the app, or they can screenshot this thing if they're using this. I don't know. That's just my, like, I'm encouraging the daily check-in, but I'm just like hoping for the weekly check-in minimum.
Yeah, I've been trying to do like recipe shares and stuff, but it's like hit or miss. Like sometimes people will respond, and then other times it's like I'm like leaving a post, and then I'm the only person commenting on my post.
Yeah, and I've done that before. I've had that happen lots of times before. Just keep showing up and find more people. Because if you get new energy in the group, new people who are excited to reach their goals, new people who are just excited to be a part of something, then their energy will help bring people back out again.
Okay.
Emily, do you have any ideas for anything you feel like would be super fun? Like,
I'm gonna hang up because I have to go get rum.
Okay.
No.
Bye. Thanks for hopping on.
But I will say, you know, once you're completely checked out, you're not going to check in.
Yeah.
Clearly, I wasn't doing that. I mean, prizes are a good incentive.
Do you feel like it helps? I know for you, you said it felt like it helped to have me reach out, like one-on-one reach out.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like is a reasonable, I guess, number of times for me to reach out to like coaches, clients, people like that? Like how many times do you think we should really be expecting that of ourselves as coaches, and for you to expect from me? Like, what do you feel like is reasonable every month?
Maybe once or twice a month. I mean, especially when you get a lot of us, it's difficult to do it, weekly.
So I guess that's kind of my thinking. That's been my goal. When I put on my calendar, I say, okay, I'm going to check in with my challengers this week, and I'm going to check in with my coaches this week. And I kind of alternate back and forth. But the hard thing is that if I don't have people responding, or if I have a lot of like non-responders, then I don't push them. Like, does that make sense? Like I don't keep like pushing and pushing like, hey Emily, it's been 24 minutes. You didn't respond to my message yet. Hey Emily.
But I can tell you that's something that like I need, because the more you're in my face, the more likely I am to respond to you.
All right. So I'll make a note that I can do crazy Danae with Emily, but most people are just like, you're crazy, leave me alone. But like, I guess somebody said in our Success Club thread that we've got right now, they said something like, we're not here to drag and tag. Like, I'm not here to try and drag you along. I'm not here to like tag people in every single post. The people who want to be here will show up, and they're going to benefit from showing up. But if you don't like, and I guess that's kind of I'm planning on making a new challenge group video, like an introduction to the challenge group. But I'm just gonna be like, guys, I'm not going to tag you in everything. I'm going to provide the content and the environment. If you don't show up, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't have time to tag 50 people in a post every single day. I mean, maybe I could hire an assistant to do that, but I don't have the hiring capability yet. But okay. So I really would love to, like, locally, I would love to get together with anyone local at least one time a month and do some kind of like a live workout. I'll lead a workout or something. But I also feel like at least once a month, it would be fun to do just like a Zoom call, kind of like this, and just like, hey, everybody, like let's have like a get to know you chat, or like a whatever after the workouts are done. So I'm trying to do those, but it's hard because there's just so many schedules to coordinate. And I guess it's just,
you're just going to have to pick a time or offer to date.
Like, this is the day and time I'm available on this day or that day. Like, I guess that's what I did this weekend, and just accept that anyone who wants to show up will show up. And that's it. What do you feel like would help you stay on track for the next couple of weeks? Like just to get ready for Transform 20, to get back into a routine, like
I'm gonna start making schedules in my phone and
Okay.
actually set like alarms of it's time to work out and not really give myself a choice. Because I have given myself a choice. And when I was in my depressive episode, my therapist said, you'll get back to it. And so now it's just a matter of making it more of a habit.
I just was like, crap, I don't want to like have that recorded if you didn't want that recorded.
No, I'm more than fine to talk about my depression.
No, okay.
Who I am.
Did you ever, I think we talked about this a little bit, right? The EMDR therapy.
Yeah, so I meet with my therapist again next Thursday. And so I'm going to talk to her about it and see
Kind of
if she knows anyone or what her thoughts are on it.
Okay. Because I honestly, I don't really know where I would be. Like, I mean, I still have days where I feel sad, like after just everything with the miscarriage and everything. And I feel like just sad or down or just not, I can't really even say depressed. I just feel down about it. But I feel like ever since I did the EMDR therapy that I feel like I've let go of a lot of the things that kind of would trigger my depression or would kind of cause me to spiral into a depressive episode because I would basically be holding on to like some of these past experiences so much that it would subconsciously make me depressed, like thinking about all of those things and having all those expectations of myself. So, I mean, I can't recommend it enough. So hopefully something like that is available close to where you're at. Anyways.
Look what I just made by myself.
Oh, yes. He wants to show us his dragon. Look at the dragon Lego.
It's so cute.
I made it all by myself. First I did.
Good job.
But then I did.
Hold on, Mommy. Mommy just broke it. I'm trying to push the Legos together. You know how like sometimes they're not all the way connected and things fall apart? Yeah, I was trying to fix that, but okay. There we go. I just broke it. There we go. I fixed it again, Josh. Sorry. Good job. Yeah, he's super creative and very, very spatially, like he puts half of it together without even looking at the instructions. It's super impressive.
That is really impressive.
Yeah, it's totally impressive. Okay. Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's about it. So plus I have to probably go get my kids from daycare. That's
okay. Do you care if we take a quick I'm just going to stick it in my stories. I forgot to grab one with Jen, but there we go. Now I can see you. Okay. Thank you so much for hopping on. Like, I know it's been a busy week, but hopefully people will listen to at least the front end of this call and it will help.
Absolutely.